we're gonna do right here is go back, way back.
Going way back till the early days.
Fresh stuff.
Money days. You know how we
Give it, party people, suck. Funky to listen to. Y'all ready for this?
going way back.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the Going Way Back show with Money B.
Money B.
In the building. Your home for classic
Music.
hip hop, raw and uncut. Got a special show for you tonight. Oh yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Get my beats going so I get my vibe right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, special guest tonight will be Eddie Don and Deva Pink from the Real Talk Show.
Nice.
If you're a fan of T-Radio V, I'm sure you check this show out at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
On Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays, every Tuesdays. We need to put our shows together, man, so it'll be like that powerful block.
1-2 punch.
That 1-2 punch.
Easy transition.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we gotta figure that out. But in the meanwhile, on top of that, discussion we're gonna have today is about classic female-male duets or collaborations in hip hop.
There have been some nice ones.
There's been some nice ones, right?
Yes, for sure.
Just off the top, and I'm not talking about groups that, or should I say, I'm not talking about groups. So that excludes like 3-6 Mafia who had Gangsta Boo, or
Terror Squad.
or the Terror Squad with Remy Ma, or BDP with Miss Melody.
So even Rough Riders with Eve?
No, because Rough Riders wasn't a group; they was a crew.
It's a crew, okay.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about
Gotcha, gotcha.
there was a BDP album, there was a 3-6 Mafia
Right,
album,
right.
where she wasn't a guest, or they were a group.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Rough Riders was kind of like a label movement. You know what I mean? So that counts.
Gotcha.
And I kind of was gonna bring one of her joints in, but who knows? We just might.
So does the female have to be a rap artist, or can they be R&B?
R&B, just if it's a dope hip hop collab, like Mary J. She was on a lot of cats hip hop records.
Mary J and Meth.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's still hip hop, even though she's singing. So it doesn't exclude singing, rapping, and as you'll see later on, beatboxing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot to do, but before we get into that, we're gonna get into a little old school new news with Ty and Teasy. Bring us up to date, baby girl.
All right, this week in the news, CeeLo Green was on Ellen DeGeneres show, and he announced that he is leaving The Voice after 3 seasons.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Why?
Well,
There must be something other reason.
I think it was because of the case, but he said it's because he want to do other things.
Right? What happened?
She just stopped.
Oh, she waiting for the next picture. Get it right,
He want to do other things?
He want to do other things, and he said he's possibly going to be working with NBC on the talk show, and he's going on tour with Lionel Richie, and the name of that tour is All the
Night
Hits
Long.
All
I'm sorry.
Night Long Summer. The name of that tour is All the Hits All Night Long, and that starts summer, May 29th.
All the hits all night long.
That's an interesting tour.
Yeah,
Wow.
that will be interesting.
Yeah, Lionel got some hits though.
Yeah, he
He
does.
got a catalog for real.
Yeah.
They should do some. They should actually make a record before they go on tour.
They should.
That would be a collab. But I ain't gonna say female male. You know. what I mean?
Maybe they will, and they'll surprise people with it.
Moving on.
Right.
50 Cent has left Interscope. He's now signed to Caroline Capital UMG, which is the independent division with Capital. He's going to be coming out with his album independently called Animal Ambition. That's going to be released on June 3rd. Pre-orders will be March 18th.
Okay.
He's due for another album, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think he got a single that's about to drop real
Right.
soon. I've been hearing about it.
Right.
So can't wait to hear that.
Moving on.
Okay.
Steve Stout, who actually he signed 50 Cent, right?
Right.
But he recently did an interview with Angie Martinez on Hot 97, and she asked him who was his top 5 influential rap artists today. And he went on to say Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, Sean Diddy Combs, and Kanye West, but did not mention 50 Cent.
Huh.
And he said reason being is that he hasn't put anything out in a long time. And now that he's independent, he can actually, well, he won't have a record label to blame for his
Any
shortcomings.
mishaps.
Whatever happens.
Exactly.
I'm tripped out that they didn't mention Kendrick.
Well, I mean,
He influences hip hop.
Well, he said the top. He just now got on the scene.
Okay, I can dig it.
So
Yeah,
he has
right.
a documentary that's out on VH1, and it's called The Tanning of the Americans, and it started last night, and it's a 4-part series on VH1.
You know, I actually started watching that online.
Oh, really? How was it?
It's interesting.
is the hip hop story?
It's the Tanning of America.
Yeah,
And he's talking about
I gotta watch that. I missed the first night.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, and while we were speaking about Remy Ma, so we all know she did 6 years in jail.
Damn.
And her husband,
Trooper.
who she got married to while she was in jail, Papoose announced that she will be getting out.
Is she really holding that gun?
On,
Looks like somebody put that shit in there. That's fucked up.
Airbrush.
she said that
Photoshop.
she's getting out on in July. So we know that she was found guilty for 2 charges of assault for shooting some chick that she had a altercation with, but she said it was an accident. But if it was an accident, how is the gun going off twice?
What's the gun doing out? Period. If it's not that serious.
Yeah, let me show you this shit. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah,
though.
I ain't gonna do nothing.
Oh
Pow!
shit! Sorry.
I wanted them to see the picture with no, the other one.
Shot me in the pinky toe.
She got shot me in the pinky. Shot me. I will kill you
So
quick.
this picture up here is the day that they got married in jail. Isn't that sweet?
Wow,
Yes.
she got boots in jail. All right.
Now she got on
She
some.
was fitted.
Yeah, she got the fat laces on. and everything.
Okay, real quick.
Right.
It's like an 80s picture.
Tours and performances.
Okay.
DMX will be doing a 7-date tour starting in Texas, and that's going to start March 6th through the 12th.
I hope he ain't going to Arizona.
No, just Texas. Eminem and Rihanna are going on a 3-city tour, the Monster Tour, and that starts in New York, LA, Detroit, and that's going to be in August.
I like him right now.
And lastly, Nas.
Nas
No, you
again?
didn't. Look at it. She
I don't
stopped
know.
and looked.
I don't know if I reached my quota for the month, but luckily this is the last week of the month. But Nas will be performing. His time is actually he's going to be performing his entire album Illmatic during the Tribeca Film Festival.
Classic.
And he's going to be showing his movie Time is Illmatic.
Kill
And
that
that's actually going to be screening on April 16th. And that's this week's Old School News.
Well, thank you, Ty Teasy.
You're welcome, Money B.
This is like this it's called the Weekly Nas Report.
It sure is.
Cause God,
Dang.
I mean, it's not my fault he stays in the news. It's not like I'm stalking him or anything.
you sure? I beg to differ. Well,
I hear different.
anyways,
Next week,
We're
I
gonna-
promise there won't be any news about Nas.
all right. Well, moving along and keeping with the topic of the dope collabos. Always, you said this is one of your favorites.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, we spoke about it. This is Jay-Z featuring Mary J. Blige. And this is Can't Knock the Hustle from his debut album, 1996. Can't Knock the Hustle. No, Reasonable Doubt. I'm sorry. Reasonable Doubt was the name of the album. But the album also featured another collab, which was him and Foxy Brown with Ain't No Nigga.
Yeah.
Which was actually
Another
huge.
dope.
That was a
Yes.
huge hit, you know.
Yes.
The first single off of that album.
Right.
So we're going to check a little bit out, go to commercial. When we come back with Edie Don and Diva Pink from the Real Talk Show right here. The Going Way Back Show with Money B.
Money B.
B.
Money B.
Hey. I know y'all was hearing
my
us
bad.
because the mics was on again.
Gizzo.
Yep, I was listening to the last show. I listened to their show when you had the mics on during all their breaks. You
Gotta get tight with your craft,
you know,
man.
and I gotta say, Kyle is my man. You do a great job.
Yeah, but he's training right now.
But you've I know you now, so I can talk shit to
Yeah,
you.
this
I'm
is
a-
the 5th week, so
Oh,
you go
we
get
was
the real.
talking?
Yeah, you can hear you guys
Sorry.
talking, checking out your show.
I hope we wasn't talking shit about nobody.
We probably no.
Talk
we,
about somebody
we never
mama.
Do
Yeah, I
that.
was just
Okay,
about to
let's
say
introduce our guest.
I said, keep it rolling. What up? Go way back show.
She the Edie Don of y'all show.
She is in the house.
In that
I'm in
seat.
that seat,
That's
right.
the power seat.
Yeah.
It's the feng
You got-
shui in here.
From
Edie Don and
Schwartz.
Diva Pink from the Real Talk Show. What's up, people?
Hey,
Welcome.
man. Thanks for having us. Happy to be here
What
with y'all,
up?
man.
What up?
Now, I
Thanks
just want to
for
say you
joining
guys
us.
have a great show. Now, of course, a lot of you guys know Edie Don, aka Edie Amin from the Outlaws. But Deva Pink, we don't know your background, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then in a nutshell, tell us what the show is about, what it is.
Okay, well, I just recently moved here from Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome to LA.
I am a hairstylist,
Right.
and I am known as the Bob Queen.
All right.
The Bob Queen.
The Bob Queen.
Tell them what a bob
So you
is.
can hook me up?
We ain't talking about B.O.B.
Can you hook me
We're
up?
not talking about B.O.B. the rapper. We're talking about that Victoria Beckham, you know, that Rihanna, you know, just that look.
And if you
Short
want to bring it
hairstyle,
back,
right below
the
the ears.
long version of the mushroom.
Yeah, basically the long version of the mushroom. So I am known as a hairstylist, and when we moved here to LA, Edie Don asked me to be his co-host on the Real Talk show. I love to talk.
I bet.
Right.
I love to talk. I love to educate women. You know, I'm a feminist by heart. And
Okay.
I thought that this would be a great opportunity to express myself, express ourselves. And then we came up with the Real Talk show.
Nice.
Right.
And the Real Talk show is about just talking about real stuff, real people, real life, real subjects, and just keeping it real. You know, I feel like it's a lot of radio shows and TV shows that portrays reality or realness, and it's not, you know, 100% real. So
Well, y'all kept
That
it
shit
real
fake.
today with Kevin Hart. Talking about him.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so keeping it real, you know, not only you guys co-hosts, but you guys are actually together. You guys are a couple, right?
yes,
And-
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Well, you know, that's interesting because I'm going to ask you about that. First of all, how did you guys, like, tell me this, Deva. Did you know who he was, like, when you saw him, or did y'all see each other across the room?
Let me
how was
tell-
his
let
game?
me-
What was
let
his
me
game
tell
like? What's the Edie Don
I'm
game
about
like?
to put Edie on the spot.
Put him on the spot. I want to
So
know what the game
I'm
is.
out and about.
Right.
I'm just dancing. I love to dance. And my homegirl who invited me out, her husband came up to me and he was like, "Hey, are you dating right now? You know, like, what's your dating situation?" And I was like, "Man, I'm chilling. I'm not looking for nobody." And he was like, "So if you was dating, like, what are you looking for?" I was like, "I'm just looking for a friend, nothing too major." So he was like, well, it's a guy over there. It was Edie sitting over there with his shades on.
In the club?
Yes. Outside in the
Straight like
summertime.
Just two.
The turn up is real.
At nighttime.
like my homie Ray Gray
I mean,
said.
Right in the
just sitting
club.
back real cool, like real chill. I'm been drinking, you know, I've been drinking. And
Gotta get
and
him
he
while
was
they lick it
like,
up.
Blame
you
it.
heard of the Outlaws? I was like, who the fuck is
I
that?
wasn't. I did not say that. I want to.
No, his friend, the guy.
He was
the
like,
guy,
tell her, man, tell her.
Yeah, he's like, you heard of the Outlaws? I was like, I don't know who that is. I was like, what? He trying to sell his mixtape or something? Like, I thought he was
Like,
like,
I ain't got no cash.
right. I'm like,
got no rap.
I'm like, oh God, he got one of them dudes that be selling their mixtape on the street. That's who I thought he was talking about. And I was like, nah, I don't know. I've never heard of them. I'm from the East Coast. And he's like, oh, okay, well, anyway, just go sit over there. And I just sat over there, and there was a whole bunch of guys and one girl, and I'm like the other only girl. And I went and sat there, and he really didn't say too much to me. You know what I mean? He
Quiet.
was very quiet, which I like that about him. He was very quiet. It was all the other guys that was trying to, you know, get their 2 cents in and all of that.
He just
And
let
then-
his,
So what
he let
up,
his
shorty?
flavor
What
just
up? What
ooze
up?
out.
yeah, he was just real relaxed and very quiet, and that intrigued me because I love to talk and I'm very outgoing, and so to see him, you know, lay back like that kind of, you know, did something for me. And then he bought me a drink and
He
we
was
exchanged
listening.
number. And the cutest thing is,
Hey, that's exactly what
You
I
were
was doing.
listening.
I was
Right.
listening.
he
Okay.
was. And the cutest thing about the whole thing was at the end of the night, he texted me the future, and I was like, huh?
Nice.
So I talked to my friend and I was like, I met this dude named Edie the Future. I don't know what that means. And I thought his name was the Future, like Edie the Future. And I was like, yo, your name is Edie the Future? He's like, no, I was saying you gonna be my future. And I was like, oh, I didn't even get it.
That was so sweet.
I learned from the
story.
Yeah, I'm
best.
about to say.
That is
Macaroni.
sweet.
Young
True
Jedi. The Young Jedi.
And
Macaroni
I'm
with
still
shades
smiling.
on.
True story.
Oh, that was
That is
Nice.
a true story.
And
That
and
is
we've
a
been
true
together
story.
ever since then.
Okay.
And I always say,
Congratulations.
I gotta add this. I always say the reason I was sitting there quiet is because I literally had a vision of me and her being together for many, many years to come. It hit me like. It hit me like, you know, like
Such
a vision.
the
It was
romantic.
He
no
is.
real talk. I had a vision, and to this day we still together, and we've been like best friends from like from the
Day
jump.
one.
That's
You know what I mean?
That's what it's
And that's
all
what
about.
it's all about.
Being
So,
best friends.
you know, being that you guys are together and being, like you said, best friends, you're together all the time, and you do a show, of course, best friends, no matter what, you have arguments, you got disagreements. So
All the
tell
time,
me,
sure.
Our
how
shit
do you
gets
guys,
spicy.
how do you guys not bring that to the show? Because there's been times when me and Tanteezy, right before we leave the house, it'd be something. But as soon as we get here,
It just happened outside.
yeah, you got to turn it on.
Oh, no,
Like, how do you,
really?
how do you
He be
turn that
losing
off
shit.
and get into that
Flash
mode
drive.
when you can like?
Well, I gotta say one thing about Deva is that, you know, being that she's been an entrepreneur for many years and runs her own business, and is a person that is very focused when it's time to be focused.
Right.
She could, you know, she could turn it on. You know what I mean? No matter how emotional it might have been the day before or whatever the case may be, she get focused on what she got to do because she's used to doing it. Like, you
not
can't
picturing.
bring your problems and go do somebody here.
Right, you gotta put
Because
your
you gonna
game-
fuck their hair
Put
up.
your game
learning.
face on, right?
I'm
Yeah,
learning.
and then you gotta, you know, like, it's a show. You know what I mean? We here to do the show, to give the
Entertain.
people what they want, and the thing about it is the way we do it, we'll bring it up, but it'll be so low key
Right.
that
Right.
you won't know it. You know what I mean? But we know where we.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
Inside
we
jokes.
it's-
Exactly.
Yeah, I bring it out here on the mic a little bit. You know, I get him. Like, I'm gonna get
A
him.
little jab.
Yeah.
And then you can laugh about it.
Right, and then it's like, ha, you caught that?
Kicking each
Definitely hit me
other,
with a
kicking
gut
each
shot.
other under the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
so.
You know, the topic of today's show, of course, we're talking about, you know, being that we're couples in here, talking about
I'm the fifth
classic
Yeah.
male and female collaboration
Wingman.
in hip hop. So tell me some of you guys' favorite, if you can think of it.
Female, male.
Female male collaborations, yeah. And it could be a singer with a rapper or
Well,
whatever.
one you was playing brought me back to my high school days, Cube and Yo-Yo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought when Cube brought Yo-Yo to the game, it was just so dope because she was like a female version of him. You
Right,
know what
she
I'm saying?
was.
And when
Rough, rugged, and raw.
she
boy.
was, you know, and she had lyrics and she had a dope delivery. So I always like they chemistry together.
Yeah,
Which
she-
one? What
and
you
she-
got, baby?
And she held it
Do
together.
they have to be in music?
Hip hop.
Hip hop, yeah.
It could be
The show
R&B.
is called the Going Back Show, about classic hip hop. We're talking
my
about hip hop
bad.
on this thing.
No
Talking about
reggae.
actors?
So out of it.
Actors? I mean,
Well, okay, well, wait, I
You don't
got,
even know the show you're on.
I got a question for you.
No, I know it's
Denzel
back in the
and-
day. I know. I saw the little
From
the
the
intro. That was
90s.
high. I like the intro.
The intro was dope.
The
Kudos
intro
on your
was real
intro.
dope.
Okay, that's what's up.
I like the
Love
intro.
that.
Hey,
The
hey, hey.
beat, the break dancing.
there.
I was like, ah.
So I got a question for you then. One of my favorites is Trick Daddy and Trina with Nah Nigga when that
that
came
was
out.
Dope
good.
record.
It was dope, but I got a question for you and you, Tanteezy. To me, a lot of people didn't trip that Trina on that song. She's basically talking about she was a prostitute. She was selling
Definitely.
pussy. And like we're
Definitely.
gonna play the verse. You got the verse ready? Mm-hmm. We're gonna play it, but it was never mentioned. And like years later, she's looked at as this strong or whatever people look at her as. But every time I see her, even to this day, I was thinking he was a
woman.
prostitute.
Well, most women sell pussy.
But
Yep.
it's just
true.
not
Right,
in
you
the
do,
form
but the fact
of
that
a
she-
menu
but the fact
letting the
she said
man
it.
know.
Yeah, she just said
that
it.
they're getting
She
ready
was
to
just
buy and pay
forthright
for the
with
pussy.
hers. She
And
was
normally
upfront
when
with hers.
people do it, there's a backlash. She just the fact that she did it, and got away with it, nobody
I
ever
think
said
she was
anything.
coming in at the time where women probably could relate to that. You know what I mean? Where at the time it
This was in '98,
right.
I couldn't relate.
right? So
I think
wait.
she was
I could
coming.
relate
I think
to it
she
in
was.
a way where a lot of women was doing it anyway. That's what they doing. You know what I mean? But it's in a way of
hold on,
buy
let's-
me this, buy me that. That type of a way. Women do
Right.
that now. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's prostituting.
Also known
but
as
she was
gold
straight up
digger.
sell more pussy
basically.
to me. Fuck
And she
friend.
wasn't lying though.
Hey, that's what I heard.
She
I
wasn't
mean,
lying.
I heard, Mr. Mix is my guy. He said he grew up with her
I
mama.
mean, she
Oh,
said,
yeah, she
hey,
wasn't lying.
if I'm gonna give it, and I want you to, my mom said, if you gonna be the best, whatever you do, be the best at it. If you gonna be the best prostitute, then you be the best.
Shouts
you
out
can
Superhead.
She said
You know
she
what I
on them
mean?
and I
head.
guess she was because she stayed in the game.
Yeah.
She stayed in the game.
She still-
And not only that, I think she was coming in after another great, you know what I'm saying, female hip hop artist
Right.
who was a part of a great another rapper, Biggie and Lil Kim.
Yeah.
And Lil
Alright.
Kim was so raunchy that if you was coming
She
after
was
her,
too raunchy.
you was gonna have to take it up to another level. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
'cause she
I
didn't
felt
get
like Trina was in that same vein as Lil Kim, Foxy, where they use their sexuality, you know what I'm saying, to market themselves, and she had to come with it.
Yeah.
And she was really about that life, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
from Miami as far as what she was talking about. It wasn't like it was an act, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like
what
you
it is.
think about MC Lyte and Queen Latifah. Yeah, they was rapping, but nobody thinking about them in no sexual kind of way.
Not at all.
Definitely not.
Not at all. But let's take
know
this
what I mean?
commercial. Let's take
Yeah,
this
so we're
commercial.
gonna take a break, come back, and talk about some more of this. That's right, we got a little
Definitely
real
not.
talk on the Going Way Back show right here on T Radio V. It's the Going
Like
Way Back
that.
show with Money B.
Money B.
We copping that.
What?
Let me stop.
Time to get some drops, baby.
Don't be taking notes. Don't be taking notes.
Definitely.
In the house with Edie Dine and Diva Pink from the Real Talk Show,
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's okay.
talking about hip hop.
Absolutely.
And great collaborations, male and female. Now, you know, it takes a great team to do, you know, to put on a great show.
For sure.
But sometimes couples don't get along, or at least sometimes in public they don't show it. And right now, I want to talk about something that's in the news right now. You guys know about Ray Rice and his fiance.
Who is that?
Ray Rice is the football player for the
with the
Baltimore
girl, she
Ravens.
was on the floor from the elevator?
Yep.
Right.
In Atlantic City.
Yeah, so before we talk about it, Kyle, you want to show them a little clip of that, a few seconds? And basically,
I saw this, man.
you know,
Ah.
yeah, drag his chick out
Then dropped
unconscious.
her.
Now, I don't think he was that.
Well, at least he tried to
shouldn't
move
have
her
done
feet.
Did he kick her?
Yeah, he
It
did.
looked. I don't know that he kicked her, man. I mean,
I think he kicked
he's
her.
trying to get her up.
He nudged.
Well, you know what I said
Now,
when I
that's
seen
it.
it?
Kyle.
He did just give her a little
Go back,
nudge.
He
go
just
back.
nudged
I
her
think
with
trying
his
to move
toe.
her out the way. Now, you know, it's going a lot of ways. Of course, you know, they were arrested or detained
Arrested.
for domestic
yeah,
dispute,
yeah.
but they both hit each other. Now, we don't know what happened in that elevator and why she came out. You know, some people say she might have been drunk, real
what I
drunk.
thought.
I heard
She
that-
could have been overreacting.
I heard that he socked her in the elevator.
Right.
Did she have a
Knocked her
bruise
out.
on her face?
I don't know.
They didn't say. Like, now, my whole thing is, if that was the case,
If
somebody
she-
would. If you see somebody sock somebody in the elevator, you're not gonna get off on the next stop.
Because don't they
You
have
know,
cameras on the elevator?
Yeah, they got that,
There's
and
cameras
you
on the
ain't just gonna
elevator.
jump off the elevator.
And if there was a bruise on her face, he would be in jail still.
Right.
Right.
And,
That's why I asked that.
And yeah, and the
So now
security
they-
guard would have
yeah.
seen it. Now, what I want to ask you guys about this, you know, I've heard that, you know, there's a train of thought that a lot of times women, they can let their emotions get in the way of really thinking and kind of like sabotaging the situation, meaning like her fiance could lose millions and millions of dollars. At that moment, she didn't give a fuck. She just like, whatever, you disrespected me and I'm gonna do this right now. Whereas
he
a lot of
shouldn't have
times,
disrespected her.
no, listen what I'm saying. Whereas a lot of times, sometimes, you know, if I'm in a situation and you can fuck up my situation, I might kind of sit back and be like, I'm gonna kill this bitch afterwards. I'm gonna make sure we get out of this area where it's not gonna fuck up my situation.
I'm thinking of alternative
It's a
Time and
motives.
place for
time and
everything.
a place, and maybe that comes from. If she did do that, that probably comes from an overload of frustration that is taking place within the relationship. And sometimes I feel like when a woman disrespects her man in public where she does not care, that means somewhere along the line in the relationship she's lost respect for him and she's expressed it to him behind closed doors, and he made no attempts to either balance it or somewhat kind of, you know, maybe consider where she's the angle that she's coming from. So when he probably did something, whatever took place, she was like, all right, I'm over it. You know what I mean?
Nigga.
And then there
All
was,
right,
and
I'm gonna
then
get you.
There were
At the
two
same
people.
time,
That's
it could
how I
be
look
the
at it.
vice
Or she
versa.
just didn't care.
Definitely,
Right,
definitely
But
could be
at
vice
the-
versa.
At the same time, but there were two people in the elevator, and they were arguing
Oh, I
back and
didn't know
forth in front of
Witnesses.
these people. So they felt comfortable enough, and they do it all the time, or they wouldn't have felt comfortable enough to argue in front of those people.
Are these
And one
witnesses
thing I
still
They were
alive?
noticed,
drinking?
one thing
Yeah,
I
they were
noticed,
drinking.
one thing I know about relationships is that, you know, certain things in certain scenarios spice up the bedroom life. So, what I mean by
So that was
that
foreplay?
Me losing
Absolutely.
me
That
losing
was
that
at least.
That was
Absolutely.
not
Don't
foreplay.
sock me in my
but
face
see,
with no
but see, look,
foreplay.
it
No.
sound crazy, but some women,
They like to make
it
the
is
sex.
known that some women don't feel like their man are not giving them enough attention, so they go for that attention in different kind of ways. And some dudes like that crazy.
Yeah, so
it ain't nothing like that crazy. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, but
that
me,
crazy.
Yo, this dude is crazy.
Me
That
losing.
crazy. Hey man, look, that crazy. You know what is something else.
I'm sorry,
so
man.
I'm not saying that's what that. I'm not saying that's what their relationship is, but I'm saying don't be surprised if the story goes deeper and you find out this is a norm for them.
I'm
You know what I
sorry,
mean?
but me losing my endorsements is not sexy.
I mean,
At
first
all.
of
Turn me
all,
on.
Ray
That's
Rice ain't
mostly
have a
right.
whole lot of endorsements. You know what I
saying,
mean?
but
He
he can-
wasn't one of those players that got a lot of endorsements
But this
anyway.
is-
He was on the come up, so you know what I mean? All she got to do is say, look, we had a fight. I don't want to press no charges, and this is going to go away after a little while.
But what does
You know what I mean?
This is the thing about being a professional athlete that I just do not like. What does my life outside of the field has anything to do with me playing?
I agree.
Whatever sport I'm doing. If me and my woman, if you didn't see it, whether you saw it or we could have argued and fought 50 million times and no one knew about it and you still was cutting me a check. So what difference does it make if now that it's, you know what I mean? It's in the public eye. That part really bothers me. I don't know why, but I don't like that. I shouldn't be a slave to the dollar of, you know what I mean, that you cutting me because me and my man decides that we gonna get into it, and this time it happens to be public and people see it all over the internet and all over the news. When we probably did it way more before and it didn't, you know what I mean? Like, that's the part that bothers me.
This is the dynamic about it is that, these teams are backed by these corporate businesses, and then they also have, they're portrayed as, in a way, like heroes or people that their kids, their
They're
children
not real
look
life
up to.
people.
Idolized.
They're idolized. So if my 5-year-old, he wants the Ray Rice jersey, but I know that he's beating his woman, I don't want him to idolize that. And that's
But what if my
Allegedly
5-year-old,
beating his
right?
woman.
But what
Allegedly.
if my 5-year-old was just in school the other day and had a fight with Tanya or Timmy, and I had to just basically talk to him about what it means to fight. You know what I mean? It's real life situation.
It is. It's definitely a standard that they're held to. That's kind of not real and not
right.
normal.
And I get it though. On either
it's
way,
not
I'm
normal.
And I
both
think
ends.
that's
But-
part of the problem is that we trying to hold human beings up on a level and put them on a pedestal that's unrealistic. You
Right.
know what I mean? You talking about people that's gonna make mistakes. There's nobody walking this planet that is perfect. So
yeah,
We
it's
have
like
a
it's
call.
rough. It's rough.
We have
We got a call. Caller.
Hello, this is Armani Jones.
What's up, Armani Jones?
Where
What's
you
up?
calling from?
I'm calling from Charlotte by way of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? You got a question for Edie or Diva Pink?
You said what, sir?
I said you have a question for Edie or Diva Pink.
I would like to go ahead and ask, what do you think is the best female MC of the past 10 years?
Past 10 years?
Past 10. I don't want to go ahead and, put anybody out there, so I'll just narrow it down to 10.
Well, my favorite right now, I would have to say Nicki Minaj today.
What about you?
I definitely would have to go
Sorry.
with right now. The one who keeps my attention the most is Nicki. You know what I mean?
I actually think, and of course, because she's not mainstream, I like Jean Grey. She be rocking.
I heard of Jean Grey.
Thank you, B. Thank you, B.
James
And that's
dope.
why he's the host.
Jean's dope.
Jean Grey be rocking.
I mean, well, maybe. I don't know. Look, but I don't know. But I love Jean Grey as well. I got a chance to see the sister perform. She is great, and I love Nicki too. But I wish that she would be real for like 2 seconds. I seen Lil' Kim fall into the same traps, man.
Hey, I like this last track that she came out
mine
with.
is
though.
Lauryn Hill. Even though she has some
Lauren was dope.
R&B with it, I just thought that she was just.
She only had that one
I think she's
album,
probably
though.
the best female rapper of all
album.
No,
time.
Still.
Lauryn Hill.
Hip-hop.
I'm talking about as far as like hip hop and realness and culture
I liked her
and sexiness.
Uneducated. Or
Lauryn
Miss-
Hill
what was
came
Miss-
with it for
what
me.
was-
For me, you know, what I mean, when she did rap, she was.
What
she
was
was
the name of
hot.
her album? Miseducated.
Miseducated.
All right, so thank you for the
Miseducation,
call.
Lauryn Hill.
Thanks for calling.
Miseducation.
It's
of Lauryn Hill.
it's time for us to go to break, but as we do, we're gonna rock a video from another collab. This is LL Cool J and LaShawn from Doing It. What's interesting about this track is that, you know, LL actually took her track that she did previously, a song called Wild Thing she had did years before.
That's right.
Remade the track, but then didn't allow her to be in the video or tour, and then told her she was too fat and out of shape. She wasn't. And it was this big thing. And
I remember that.
So let's rock it. Go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little more about it, and I want to get you guys' opinion on that.
Word up.
Yeah. It's gon' show. And turn it up for me. It's gon' show. And make that shit bang. Yeah, it's gon' show. It's gon' show. It's gon' show. It's gon' show. You brought that life. It's gon' show.
I gotta bounce to this shit.
It's gon' show. The turn up.
Turn my headphones up. Turn my headphones up.
Oh yeah, turn it.
Turn my headphones up. Turn my headphones up.
Going way back show with Money B.
Money B.
In the house. Edie Don Diva Pink.
Yes, sir.
Edie.
Good.
The Outlaws.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck is up, man?
The Outlaws.
Yeah, what's going on?
It's a lot up individually right now. You know what I'm saying? Noble and Fatal.
Wait. Before you even go forward, and I think I asked you this before, who are the Outlaws? Because, I mean, every time I see a picture, it's a different nigga. Like a different dude.
Yeah, that's one
and it's
thing
like
about
3 or 4,
it.
and then it'd be like 3 or 4 dudes I never met. You're like, you know, I thought I knew the Outlaws.
We got generations of this shit.
Really?
Man.
That's what I'm understanding.
It's funny because the little homies got lower homies now.
Yeah, how you get in? I always wanted to be an outlaw. Shit.
Come on, man.
You jump a nigga in or what?
Honorary outlaw.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get jumped in. Sometimes some niggas try to pay their way in.
I think somebody was trying to jump me in. What was his name?
Kay. Remember she got into it with Kay one time.
Oh, you got into it with Kay? I'm not surprised.
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta?
Some restaurant.
I am not surprised. Wow.
We was going head to head too.
Oh, they was going at it.
You gonna get her Brad on?
Oh,
but he apologized later, like years later.
Well, I mean, really, the Outlaws is like a big ass, you know what I'm saying, collective. You know what I mean? It was like, we always used to call ourselves the West Coast Wu. Of course, Pac designated, you know what I'm saying, the original members of the Outlaws, which is myself, Castro, Gaddafi, Young Noble, Hussein Fatal, and Napoleon, and of course himself. Those are the original Outlaws. Now, when we started this, what we said was that only the original members of the Outlaws can bring other members in. You know what I mean? You had to be one of the OGs, one of the original members of the Outlaws to bring one in. You know what I mean? The Outlaw Immortals, of course, extended to Big Syke and Mo Preem. But as far as the Outlaws, those members that I named are Outlaws and always will be Outlaws. Now, we know Napoleon made a religious change a few years ago,
right,
and he does a lot of great inspirational speaking around the country, around the world, really, in the name of Islam and his faith. And Castro really doesn't really, you know what I mean, he raps when he want to, basically. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
K rap when he want to. He ain't really into it. Noble and Fatal got an album coming out March 18th. That record y'all came to from Commercial was off my mixtape, OG Established 1992, was dropped late last year, April last year, hosted by Mike Epps, online everywhere. You can find it anywhere you find music. And we just working, man. We do shows occasionally here and there, but right now we working on individual projects.
And you actually have a new artist.
Definitely, I have a new artist that I'm working with named Scotty Deuce. Shout out to H Rider, you know what I mean? And, shout out to Stormy Coleman out there in Australia, another dope artist that, you know, we blessed and brought into the collective. And it's a few other artists out there that, you know, we've mentored over the years, man. We just try to get a love that we got back to different artists, and you know, sometimes they take it and make something of it. Sometimes they bullshit, and you know.
And you got to keep moving.
And you got to keep it moving.
So, is there ever going to be an official Outlaws album with all the original members and some of the new members back? And if so, you know, are you guys going to use any like the unused pop verses or anything like that?
I mean, to answer your first question, I doubt that'll happen. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Napoleon doesn't even rap anymore. You know what I mean? He gave up music totally. And it'll be difficult at this point to do that because once you grow, you know how it is being in the group. Yeah. You know, we're just going to keep it real. We're going to bring a little bit of the real talk show up in here.
Please.
It's very, very, very difficult economically for 6-7 niggas to eat off of one check.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult for 3 dudes to eat off of one check.
Yeah.
So what you got to do is create new lanes and new opportunities for yourself individually And if the stars line up and if the time is right, you might see an Outlaw album again. But our last album was Perfect Timing that we put out in 2011.
Which was a dope
Right.
album.
But you'll always feature on each other's.
Yeah,
stuff.
we do music. We still do music. You know what I mean? Them is my brothers. Nope got his clothing line right now popping. OutlawUniversity.net. You know what I'm saying? Fatal. If you ain't seen Fatal lately, go on his Instagram. He like the workout king. You know what I mean? I tell him he should be a
Fatal
trainer.
buff.
He in excellent shape right now.
Yeah.
Get with
Fatal
Chop
buff.
Black.
Fatal
you know Chop
is
Black
buff.
from the Who Riders, right? Chop
Nah.
Black. He got Saphir's brother, Chop Black. He rock with.
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, he rock with Yuck and all that, but he do the same. He got his little boot camp thing, workout. So they might need to get together.
Yeah, man. The
Some
Outlaws
push-ups
done,
or something.
Do a collab.
Outlaws
tape.
done grew up, man. You know what I mean?
training
We ain't all
tape.
living in the same house together and you know
Niggas like
riding
living
around in the
yard.
murder van, man. You know, cats is doing their own thing and starting businesses and it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so speaking about what's going on right now, of course everybody knows about this new Tupac biopic. I say biopic.
Biopic.
Or whatever the hell it is.
Biopic. No, it's not whatever that is.
What's
I was gonna
your
say biopsy.
connection
I know
with
that
the
ain't
film,
I like biopic though.
if any?
My connection to the film is that, you know, it's being done about my homeboy and my loved one, and I feel like if it's gonna be done, it would be better for me to be involved in it in some capacity than for me not to be.
So are you
So-
a consultant on set, or are you in it? Or
Definitely, I'm a consultant. I'm not in it yet because the script is still in constant, you know what I mean, constant improving and
Yeah, John is
redrafts
actually
and
rewriting the script.
right. And so I don't know where, as far as the script is concerned, I fit in, but I'm just playing my position. Whatever they need from me, I'm there to do to make the best possible movie that can come out.
All right, real quick. I mean, me and you know, but a lot of people don't know that Pac was a straight comedian. So give me one of the funniest things you can remember that Pac ever did. And you just like, this nigga's crazy.
You know, he was a prankster. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He was a practical joker. So if anybody got caught sleeping in the studio, you know, we had all kind of different ways to wake you up. He hated
Right.
people sleeping in the studio. So one night, I hate to put Mo Preem out there, but one night, Mo Preem fell asleep in the studio first, and Pac started lighting up quarters and putting fire, lighting up the quarters, and he'd sit it on your arm while you sleeping. He set that shit on Mo Preem, boy. Mo Preem jumped about 10 feet high, man. That nigga could have played for the Knicks that night.
All right, so we got to wrap up real quick. Tell everybody where they can catch you, you know, the show, the times and everything.
Well, definitely catch us up here at T Radio V every Tuesday, 6 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Catch us on Twitter and Instagram. Mine is at The Real Edie Don. Instagram is Edie Don. Hers is Deva Pink.
DEVAPINK.
Tonteezy.
Tonteezy at TON_TEEZY.
Always.
At always in your ear.
And of course, you can find me at MoneyB69 at Going Way Back Show. And if you want to hear the podcast with the music, more of the music, then check out the archives at GoingWayBackShow.com.
And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Going Way Back Show.
And you could talk about Nas, girl. Let me stop.
Okay.
Get her killed in the elevator. We got to catch an elevator soon
Let me
enough.
start a little
goddammit.
drama. Let me see what y'all gonna get going on the show.
So, once again, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate
My
you.
brother.
Thanks,
Appreciate you coming
man.
through, man.
Get
You
down.
too,
Good
Deva
time.
Pink. Thank you.
We're going to get out of
Thank
here with
y'all
another
for
one of
having
Edie
us, man.
joints. So, until next time, people, be easy. Thank you, Kyle.
It's the Goin' Way Back Show with Money B. Classic hip hop, raw and uncut.
Thanks for visiting the Going Way Back Show channel. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe, and click that like button.